Hello children, welcome back. In this session, we will continue our chapter number 2, microorganisms, friend and foe. In last session, we have learnt about what are microorganisms and different types of microorganisms. And we know that what are microorganisms? Microorganisms are very small organisms which cannot be seen by our naked eye, or we can tell organisms that cannot be seen by our naked eyes are called as microorganisms, and or otherwise called as microbes. And we have learned that microorganisms can live in all kinds of environment, ranging from ice cold climate to hot springs and deserts to marshy lands. And they are found in air, water, and in bodies of plants and animals. So we can tell they are omnipresent. They may be unicellular or multicellular. Then we have learnt about different types of microorganisms, namely bacteria, fungi, protozoa, and algae. And we have learned all these types of microorganisms in a detailed manner. And also we have learned that microorganisms may be single-celled, otherwise called as unicellular, like bacteria, some algae, and protozoa. Or they may be multicellular, like algae, and fungi. And they can survive under all types of environment, ranging from ice cold climate, very cold climate, to hot springs, very hot climate, as well as deserts, that is without water, to marshy lands. Where marshy lands, there will be more water. And they are also found inside the bodies of animals, including humans. Some microorganisms, they grow on other organisms, while others exist freely. Microorganisms like amoeba live alone, while fungi and bacteria live in colonies. Colonies in the sense they live in groups. And microorganisms, they play a very important role in our lives. And microorganisms or microbes, some of them are beneficial for us in many ways, whereas some others, they are very harmful and they cause diseases. So children, in this session, we will be learning about beneficial microorganisms, or you can tell friendly microorganisms, how they are useful for us. And in future coming sessions, we will be learning about harmful microorganisms, that is disease causing microorganisms, as well as other harms, how they harm us in various ways. So children, this disease causing microorganisms, they are called as pathogens. So all microorganisms, they don't cause disease. Some microorganisms, they are useful for us, and some microorganisms that cause diseases are called as pathogens. So now let's study in detail about friendly microorganisms. So friendly, they are useful for us in various ways. So microorganisms, they are used for various purposes. Like they are used in the preparation of curd, bread, and cake. And microorganisms also used for the production of alcohol. Since long time, they are used for the production of alcohol. And also they are used in cleaning up the environment. How do they clean the environment? For example, whatever waste produced, organic waste like vegetable peels, remains of animals, pieces, etc. What they are after organisms, they die, they get buried under the earth, isn't it? They are broken down into very fine substances, harmless and usable substances by bacteria. Bacteria is one type of microorganisms, and this And also, so in this way, and you just imagine if this bacteria, they don't degrade, decompose these organic waste, then what will happen? There will be heap of waste around us, isn't it? So this microorganisms is very, very useful to for cleaning up our environment. And also these microorganisms like some bacteria, they are used in the preparation of medicines, and in agriculture also they play an important role. They are used to increase soil fertility, fertility of the soil. To increase that fertility, how fertility depends upon the amount of nitrogen present in the soil. In the lesson crop and crop production, we have learned, isn't it, the fertility of the soil is being maintained by the microorganisms by fixing nitrogen. So children, in this session we will be learning about uses of microorganisms, especially only about preparation of curd, bread and cake, production of alcohol, wine and acetic acid, and also we are going to learn about cleaning up the environment, that is and increasing the soil fertility. So the remaining uses of microorganisms, that is preparation of medicines and vaccines and cleaning up the environment, we will be learning in next session. So children, now let's start uses of microorganism. First, preparation of curd, cake, etc. And curd, every day this your mother makes curd. That is curd. How does she make curd? Curd contains several microorganisms. So this contains several, so we have learned that our surroundings, many microorganisms are there which we cannot see by our naked eye. So curd contains several microorganisms. Of this, the bacterium, singular bacterium called Lactobacillus. The name of bacteria is Lactobacillus. It produces or it promotes the formation of curd. Got it? So the bacteria called as Lactobacillus, it promotes the formation of curd. So curd is made from milk. So milk only get converts into curd. And how this milk get converted into curd? Due to the presence of Lactobacillus present in the milk. This bacteria, it grows in a very warm condition. So before, how does your mother makes curd? She warm the milk very this in a light this warmth it needs, and then if she adds little curd in it, after 5 to 6 hours milk will get converted into curd, and this by presence of Lactobacillus. Lacto it means milk, sugar present in milk is called as lactose. So Lactobacillus, the bacteria named as Lactobacillus, it promotes the formation of curd. And other than this, bacteria also involved in making of cheese, pickles and many other food items. And this when your mother makes idlis, how this main ingredient of this idli is rice, urad dal. After it gets soaked, has to grind, and then has to it has to kept for some time outside for fermentation. And this fermentation takes place by the microorganisms called as yeast, isn't it? Yeast. And if the batter is not fermented for idlis or dosa, whatever it is, if it batter after grinding it, it should be get fermented, allowed to ferment for some time. And if it is not fermented, then we will not get that soft idlis, isn't it? Now this we are going to learn in detailed manner. Bacteria and yeast are also helpful for the fermentation of rice idlis or dosa batter. And see here now how milk get converted into curd. Milk, in a warmed milk, what is present? Some bacteria called as lactobacillus is present. And into this milk, if few drops of curd is added, this lactobacillus bacteria, it converts that lactose sugar present in the milk into lactic acid. That is why lactic acid, we have learned that taste of acid is sour taste, isn't it? So lactose is converted in, lactose present in the milk is converted into lactic acid. That is why the curd, the sweet taste of sugar, what sugar is present in the milk, sugar present in the milk is called as what? Lactose. So the sweet taste of lactose is getting converted into sour taste of lactic acid. Got children? So this way lactobacillus bacteria, it convert lactose sugar into lactic acid. That is why milk get changed into curd. And now let us see about this. How does this fermentation takes place? You can do by your own. Now let's see this activity. Take half kg flour or 2 cups, whatever, how much you want. You can take flour, that is wheat flour, we call that as atta, or maida, and we have to add little sugar and mix it with warm water. And if you want, you add a small amount of yeast powder, and you need it to make a soft dough. And after 2 hours, what do you observe? We can observe that the dough get raised. This dough rising. That is why, because dough after 2 hours dough rised, because the yeast, it reproduces and it produces carbon dioxide during its respiration. So respiration, what happens? Carbon dioxide get released. So this yeast reproduces rapidly, and also it produces carbon dioxide during respiration. So yeast multiplies, as well as it has to respire. During respiration, carbon dioxide is being released, and this carbon dioxide gas, the bubbles of the gas, get caught between the dough, and that is why its volume got increased. And this carbon dioxide gas, because of this gas get trapped in between that. After we make this into bread, you can see that very minute, or you can, if you see that dosa, when batter is spread on the hot tawa, what happens? You can see that very minute holes comes out. That are all due to the because of heat, the carbon dioxide, whatever get trapped in the batter or dough, it gets escaped, making the hole in it. That is why bread, dosa, idli, whatever it is, it becomes very soft. So for this, fermentation is very, very necessary. So again, children, during fermentation, what happens? Yeast reproduces rapidly and they release carbon dioxide during their respiration. So this gas, carbon dioxide gas bubbles get trapped in between the dough, and thus it increases the volume, and after we make it be baked, it becomes very soft, porous. So this is the basis the use of yeast in baking industry for making breads, pastries and cakes. And so children, so you can see that bread, how it becomes very porous. So bread is made by this wheat flour. When it is mixed with warm water, sugar and yeast, first we have to make a dough. And if you after 2 hours, we can see that the volume of the dough got increased. And if it is baked, we can see that bread has very minute pores. It becomes very soft. What is the reason behind it? So yeast reproduces and it releases carbon dioxide during its respiration, and this carbon dioxide gas gets trapped in between the dough, and when it is baked, the gas gets escaped, it making the food items porous and soft. And Now let us see that. So till now we have learned about what is the use of microorganisms for preparation of curd, bread and cakes. Now we will be learning about commercial use of microorganisms. Commercial use, that is how microorganisms are used in a large scale. Microorganisms are used for the large scale for the production of alcohol, wine and acetic acid. What is the common name for acetic acid? It is vinegar. So microorganisms are also used for the production of the large scale production of alcohol, wine and acetic acid. And here also the microorganisms called as yeast is used for commercial production of alcohol and wine. For making alcohol and wine, fermentation is very essential. So for this purpose, yeast is to make alcohol and wine. Yeast is grown on natural sugar. Where are natural sugars present? Natural sugars present in grains like barley, wheat, rice, as well as crushed fruit juices. And in this, now let us see how this fermentation takes place to make that alcohol. This also you can do by yourself. You can take 500 milliliter beaker, 3/4 filled with water, and dissolve 2 to 3 teaspoons of sugar in it. We can add sugar, otherwise fermentation is being done by the natural sugar present in grains like wheat, barley and or as well as crushed fruit juices. Now how you can test how this alcohol is being made by fermentation. For that you have to take 500 ml beaker, 3/4 filled with water, and we have to add 2 to 3 spoons of sugar in it. And now add half a spoon of yeast powder to the sugar solution. After sugar gets dissolved, what we call that as sugar solution. And then we have to keep it covered in a warm place for 4 to 5 hours. Then after that, if you smell the solution, you can get the sour taste, alcoholic smell. So how can we get the smell? The smell of alcohol is due to the conversion of sugar into alcohol by yeast. Got children? So this process of conversion of sugar into alcohol is known as fermentation. So what is fermentation? Conversion of sugar into alcohol is known as fermentation. And this fermentation is used to make alcohol, wine, etc. That is acetic acid or vinegar. And this fermentation was who discovered this? Louis Pasteur. The scientist Louis Pasteur discovered fermentation in the year 1857. So what is fermentation? Conversion of sugar into alcohol is known as fermentation. See here, sugar, if you add sugar in water with yeast, after 4 to 5 hours, we can get alcohol. As well as here also during fermentation, what happens? Carbon dioxide is being released. So fermentation, after fermentation, what happens? It gets converted into alcohol and carbon dioxide. Now, next use of microorganism will be learning now about increasing soil fertility. So soil fertility of the soil, it depends upon the amount of nitrogen present in the soil. Now some bacteria, already we have learned that nitrogen is very essential for plant growth. But where is this nitrogen? Nitrogen is present in the atmosphere, and you know that 75% of air consists of nitrogen. But this plant, they cannot avail this atmospheric nitrogen directly, but they need nitrogen for their growth. So how plants get nitrogen? That is, some bacteria they are able to fix this atmospheric nitrogen into the soil, so that soil will get enriched with nitrogen and it increases its fertility. And this we have learned, this which bacteria called, we have, that is rhizobium bacteria and as well as azotobacter. These two bacteria are very, very essential for fixing of nitrogen in the soil. This rhizobium bacteria, where do they present? They grow in the root nodules of leguminous plants. This we have learned in first lesson, crop production, isn't it, children? And this rhizobium bacteria, what they do, they convert atmospheric nitrogen into compound of nitrogen and fix it, and that it fix it in the soil. Then plant can utilize this nitrogen. Plant root absorb nitrogen, which is very, very essential for their growth. So these microbes are commonly called as biological nitrogen fixer. So nitrogen fixing bacteria, cyanobacteria, you can see here. What is that called? Cyanobacteria. And one more also we have learned, rhizobium bacteria that are present in the root nodules, isn't it? So these bacteria, they convert atmospheric nitrogen to and fix it in the soil, so that soil will be enriched with nitrogen and increases its fertility. So this bacteria, cyanobacteria and rhizobium bacteria, they are called as biological nitrogen fixers. So children, in this session, we have learnt about preparation of curd, bread and cake, production of, that is commercial production. What do you mean by commercial? Large scale production of alcohol, wine and acetic acid, as well as how we can increase the fertility of the soil by biological fixers, microbes, isn't it? So the increasing soil fertility. That's all for this session. Thank you.